Got a Photoshop question? Brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, it's Ask Dave.
This week's question comes from Twitter, from Freedy77, who asked, what's a simple way to make metal text in Photoshop? Well, there's lots of possibilities, of course, but particularly if you're looking for kind of polished metallic, there's a pretty simple way that's actually very cool that you can do just with a couple of steps. So I'm going to start with my type layer, and as you can see, all I have right now is plain white text. I'm going to first pick color overlay in here, and one of the things that happened in CS5 is this button make default. It always defaults to red. I mostly use this colored overlay if I am trying to make a metallic look. So I might choose to hit this button, say make default, so it'll always default to this color. I can still change it, and that's really not part of the tutorial. That's just a nice option that's available. Then I go to bevel and emboss, and in here I'm going to choose the chisel hard because I want it to have an edge to it, and then move this size slider until I get kind of a ridge at the top of the letter here, like you see here. Now at this point, this is where many people stop and then they start going and getting gradient tools and all that kind of thing, but there's part of the bevel and emboss right here called gloss contour. And one of the things that I always say in my live seminars is anytime you're unsure of something and you're hesitant to try it because you're not sure what it's going to do, remember cancel and preview. Whenever you see those, you've got two possibilities. First of all, you can turn the preview on and off, of course, to compare, but also if it starts going horribly wrong, you can just press the cancel button. So I like to think of these two things as permission to experiment, because you can try things now knowing there's no worries. So here in the middle of this bevel and emboss, there's this thing called gloss contour. When you open it up, it gives you these weird looking little graphs, and when you click on them, you start to see what they do. Now, some of them are fairly dramatic. In this case, some may not help at all. But as you start looking through them, you start to find some pretty interesting polished gold kind of looks. I think I like these two here the best. I think I like that one the best. So then I click OK, and now I've got this nice metallic looking gold. And the nice part is because they're layer styles, I can take this effects, hold down Option or Alt, and just copy those effects onto my two little white boxes as well. That's a very simple way to do this. Now I would take it one step further, and that is go to my styles panel, and in here make a new style and call it something so you know what it is. Now what this means is anytime you want to use gold again, and I have several different variations here, all I need to do is, let's go back to this point where I just pretend I hadn't done anything yet, and all I had was the white text and the white bars. Now I just have to go and click once on these built-in styles that I've created, and it applies them. And the nice thing is it does apply them with the live style. So if you decided in this particular case you want to try something different, you could certainly go back in and try changing some of the settings or try a different gloss contour and so on. So that just gives you one idea to build on. The nice part is it's all done with layer styles, so they're very, very easy to edit and to use in other documents. For more answers, for tips and tutorials and everything good about Photoshop, make sure you watch Photoshop User TV right here on kelbytv.com. It's free. If you have a question you'd like me to answer here on Ask Dave, you can use Twitter using my username @DaveCross, or you can go right here on the Kelby TV website to the Contact tab and fill in the contact form and send me a question that way. Please keep them short, and I'll do my best to answer as many of your questions as I can. I'm Dave Cross. See you next time.